Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I will call this meeting to order. We are going to start with the adoption of the agenda, and I believe CO Beveridge, you have a couple additions to the agenda.
Yes, Your Worship. We have we're requesting G4, West Yellowhead Regional Waste Management Authority Governance Administrative Plan to be added.
Okay. Thank you. So can I get a motion, please, that the agenda for the August 17th, 2021 regular meeting of council be adopted as amended? Councilor Chenard, any other questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried. Can I get a motion, please, that the minutes of the July 20th, 2021 regular meeting of council be adopted as presented? Councilor Wilkinson will make that motion. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Motion carried. And we do have a public hearing this evening, land use amending bylaw number 2260. We do have the public hearing open online. We are going to start with a staff presentation, and then we'll call on anybody wishing to speak for or against the bylaw to do so after the presentation from staff. Registered speakers will have 5 minutes to speak unless there is consent by town council to extend the allotted time. And please remember to direct all comments through the chair. So we will open up this public hearing, and I'll hand things over to CO Beveridge, and she can hand things over to her staff.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we have Mandy Chan here to introduce this item and speak to land use bylaw amendment 2260.
So good evening, council. My name is Mandy Chan. I'm the municipal planning intern here at the town of Edson. So tonight I have prepared a presentation of the land use bylaw textual amendments bylaw number 2260. So as an overview, I will start by providing the background information on the amendments. And then I will jump into the administration suggestions along with the amendments overview, and then followed by the town's land use district statistics and maps indicating where the associated districts located in the town. And then at the very end, we will open up to any questions that council may have for administration. So for background, administration received an application applying for an amendment to land use bylaw number 2070 to add recycling depots to C1 retail commercial districts to facilitate development of a bottle depot at an existing building. After administration reviews the land use bylaw, recycling depots or another similar use is not listed as a permitted or discretionary use in any of the districts. Therefore, administration proposed several land use districts in the land use bylaw where recycling depots could be listed as a use. As an amendment overview, there are several components to the amendments. The first one is to add definitions of recycling depot to section 6 definitions. The second one is to add recycling depots related use development standard to section 87. The third one is to add recycling depot as discretionary use in 2 commercial districts and a light industrial unserviced district to allow development authority to condition any approval given the potential impact on the neighboring land. The last amendment is to add recycling depot as permitted use in light industrial service districts and the heavy industrial districts, as the proposed use is suitable for the general purpose of these districts outlined in the land use bylaw. For the definitions, administration proposed the amendments to read as recycling depots means a development consists of a principal buildings used for the enclosed interior buying, collecting, sorting, packaging, and temporary storage of recyclable material, which does not include construction or demolition material. Typical use including recycle facility, bottle depots, and compost facilities. For the recycling depots related use development standard amendments to read as follows, outlined as 7 items on the slide here. I'm not going to go over all these standards, however, please note that the main goals of each standard here is to maintain public well-being. This slide here actually lists the land use district that will be adding to recycling depots. To the left here is discretionary use, and to the right here is permitted use. The land use bylaw sections to each of the land use district listed on the slide here is attached to the agenda package for council to review as additionals and reference material. To get a better understanding of how this amendment actually affects the town, administration generated this table here as an additional information. In total, 442 properties will be affected by the proposed amendments. The majority will be C2 Service Commercial Land Use District with 173 properties, and the least influence will be the M1B Light Industrial Unserviced Land Use District. This slide here is just kind of to create like a visual aid of where the affected land use district are located within the town boundary. In summary, first reading of bylaw number 2260 was given on July 20th, 2021. The proposed amendments intend to facilitate diverse and strong economic opportunities, potentially increase business opportunities and a variety in several districts while maintaining public well-being. Administration recommends that council give second and third readings to bylaw number 2260 land use district amendments. Thank you for your attention, and we are open to any questions that council may have for administrations.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Chan. So before we get to our registered presentations and speakers, council, do you have any questions to administration at this point in time? We will be debating this later on. Councillor Curry, go ahead.
Through the chair to Ms. Chen, I just had a quick question that came up. I saw, and sorry, that slide that you went through. Would it be covered in the fast one, sorry, with the discretionary? I just saw in the definitions with the compost facilities in the recycling definitions, and just knowing where some of these are zoned. Would that be covered in the, when applying? To ensure just with our airport, just knowing that some of these areas that they would be applicable, would those compost facilities be inside? Would that happen all in the actual application process? Just knowing that that's in that definition?
Through
Go ahead, Ms. Chan.
the chairs to Councillor Curry, sorry. I believe like when there's application coming in, then for discretionary use, we will actually look through where it's actually located, and then there might be some follow-up conditions on the development permits specific for that applications.
Perfect.
All right, thank you. Councillor Chenard.
Through the chair, my only comment, and it would be, is where you said no demolition material. My only question, it would be discretionary, because demolition material sometimes is becoming very popular. People are selling secondhand lumber, doors and windows. So as long as it's discretionary, so someone would propose in that area, they're going to do demolition, meaning scrap lumber and stuff, the reusing of it. I'm just curious on that.
Ms.
Through the
Chan.
chair to Councillor Chenard. So for the definition itself, recycling depot actually will not be including construction or demolition materials in the definition for that.
Okay, so can I do a follow-up then?
Go ahead, Councillor Chenard.
So if someone was to propose, because we're saying recycling, so recycling is a broad angle. So if someone came to us and said, look, I want to propose doing used lumber, there is places that have them, use windows, doors, etc. So would they be able to apply and it would be under discretionary? Because to me, that would fit in recycling.
Go ahead, Ms. Florzone.
Good morning, Council. Terry Florzone, Senior Plant Manager. Since it's part of the definition, it would not be something we would consider. Definitions are non-changeable, they're not discretionary. Once they're set, they're set. Now, if somebody did come to us with wanting to salvage building materials, we do have a salvage yard that we could look at. We have other manufacturing uses that we could look at. We have other warehousing and distribution that we could possibly look at, just depending on the exact nature and scope of that work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else have any further questions before we ask our registered speakers? Seeing none, so we will open the chat here. If there's a registered speaker online that would like to speak for or against this bylaw, just a reminder, this is a chance for us to listen to any concerns anybody has or any support that people have and not to engage in debate. So do we have anybody online that would like to speak to for or against this bylaw? Mr. Soleil, are you there?
Hello,
Hi there. Would you like to speak for or against this bylaw?
I would like to speak for.
Do you have anything you want to add to that, or you just want to say that you're in support?
Sorry, my phone is just acting up right now. I just wanted to ask a question as well. I seen on one of the slides it said 442 businesses against the rezoning. If I read that correctly.
No, that is not correct. There's 400 and some properties that are impacted by this, but we've actually have not received anybody against this.
Okay. No, that's the only question I kind of have. That's about it.
Right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And have we had any written submissions?
Through the chair.
Okay, thank you. With that, I will close the public hearing for bylaw number 2260, and thank you all for participating in that. We are going to move on to reading of bylaws. Can I get a motion, please, that council give second reading to bylaw number 2260, land use bylaw amendment? Councillor Sorensen, any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, motion carried. Can I get a motion, please, that council give third reading to bylaw number 2260, land use bylaw amendment? Councillor Bevan will make that motion. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, motion carried. Bylaw number 2260 is now passed. Can I get a motion, please? We're going to move on to number 2, that council give first reading to bylaw number 2261, land use bylaw amendment. And Councillor Byer will make that motion, and we will hand things over to administration. Not sure who would like to speak. Go ahead, Ms. Fleury.
Through the mayor, I have Julia Darling, our admin officer, here to speak on that amendment.
Tonight I'm here, good evening council. Tonight I'm here to present bylaw 2261 for first reading and ask that you set a public hearing for September 7th, 2021. As a review of my presentation to committee of the whole, land use bylaw amendment, this land use bylaw amendment is to facilitate the addition of retail establishment to the C2 service commercial land use district. The addition of the retail establishment to the C2 service commercial district will allow for growth of our business community and does fit with the intended purpose of the C2 service commercial district.
All right, thank you. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, I will call the question. All those in favor? Motion carried. Can I get a motion, please, that council set a public hearing for September 7th, 2021 during the regularly scheduled council meeting? Councillor Bevan will make that motion. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried. Can I get a motion, please, that council give first reading to bylaw number 2262, land use bylaw amendments? Councillor Chenard will make that motion. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion carried. Can I get a motion, please, that council set a public hearing for September 7th, 2021 during the regularly scheduled council meeting? Councillor Curry will make that motion. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, motion carried. And we are going to move on to reports from administration. Can I get a motion, please, that council appoint Michelle DeShane as the designated clerk for the West Yellowhead Regional Assessment Review Board for a one-year term effective August 17th, 2021. Councilor Chouinard will make that motion. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, motion carried. Can I get a motion, please, that council appoint Paul Butler as the designated chair of the West Yellowhead Regional Assessment Review Board for a one-year term effective August 17th, 2021. Councilor Wilkinson will make that motion. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, motion carried. Can I get a motion, please, that council authorize advocacy efforts for the Government of Canada to be responsible for the RCMP retroactive pay increases in alignment with AUMA's calls to action? Councillor Bevan will make that motion. We talked about this at committee last week. Any further questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, motion carried. Can I get a motion, please, that council remuneration policy LC1 be amended as presented? Councilor Curry will make that motion. Any questions, comments, or concerns? I do see we do have Colin here. Mr. McComb, if you want to come have a seat and maybe just run through this policy for us, since it's been a while since we talked about this.
Good evening, council. It's great to see you all again. I'm Colin McComb, Senior HR Manager. During the 2020 strategic planning session, council directed administration to provide research from other municipalities regarding the reimbursement of childcare expenses resulting from attendance at council-related events. On April 27th of this year, administration brought that research to a committee of the whole meeting and showed what 5 other municipalities are doing to reimburse such expenses. Council's direction to administration was to bring back a drafted amendment to the council remuneration policy, providing reimbursement for out-of-pocket expenses relating to the care of a dependent while attending to council responsibilities to a maximum of $2,400 per year. The intent behind this direction, as the minutes from that meeting record, is to mitigate socioeconomic barriers that might otherwise prevent someone from running for council. The request before you shows the drafted amendment to the council remuneration policy. If passed, this will go into effect with the next elected council. The $2,400 annual cap will be prorated in the first year to reflect this, which means the newly elected councillors will be entitled to approximately $400 to $500 in 2021. This will cost anywhere between $0 and $17,500 per calendar year, depending on the usage of each councillor. Administration requests a decision on this matter.
All right, thank you. We have a motion on the floor. Questions, comments, or concerns? Councilor Chouinard.
It's not too late to make a recording vote. This is the right timing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to do a recording vote, and also I'm going to speak against this motion. I am not in favor of this. I believe that we need to bring it back. It's too vague. It's saying childcare and dependence of family members. We do get paid so much per month, and it's stuff that we all, myself personally, I considered this before running for council. I looked at, I could have out-of-pocket expenses, and I believe we're fairly reimbursed for what we're doing. The only thing I'd be in favor of is if all of a sudden, like we all lived through COVID, so all of a sudden we had to do over and above special meetings. It's not only childcare, but some people may be loss of wages, etc. So I don't like it this narrowed down. I believe we should table this, discuss it more. We're going to retreat. So that's why I'm not voting in favor of the way it's worded right now.
All right, thank you, Councilor Chouinard. Councilor Wilkinson.
Through to the chair, I can't support this motion. I do feel that our $2,200 that we get paid a month is for our incidental expenses, whatever they may be.
All right, thank you, Councilor Wilkinson. Anybody else? Councilor Bevan.
Yeah, I can't support this either. I looked at what I ran on and that, and I didn't run on this year. And that we took raises and everything else, and we didn't cut back our salary like everybody's doing. I would probably support something that if we have emergency meetings where, you know, you can't get a sitter right now or daycare or whatever, something like this or whatever, our special meeting, if it's called, we know throughout our 4-year term, when our council meetings are, when AUMA is, when FCM is, when all our committee and board meetings are, they're all set every month and stuff like that. So the only thing that comes up to us is we have to have a special meeting or emergency meeting like COVID, and our emergency management gets together and we have to come in and stuff like that. And they could be out of pocket expenses for, counselors that do have children and need to get, childcare or some kind of support. I would probably support something like that, but just to come right out and say that, we're going to do it, I can't support that.
All right, thank you, Councillor Bevan. Anybody else? Councillor Sorensen and then Councillor Meyer.
Thank you. Through the chair, I will be speaking in favor of this motion. I think it's important that every adult resident of Edson has equal opportunity to run for council, and I think it's important that situations where someone has out-of-pocket expenses and they're really worried about running for council and that being a consequence for their life, this shouldn't be a factor. For instance, I lose income when I'm at this meeting, but I don't actually have to pay for expenses to be at this meeting. And I think it's important that we level the playing field for everyone in Edson, and every adult has an equal opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Sorensen. Councillor Meyer.
Thanks, through the chair to council. I'll be voting in favor of this decision. As Councillor Sorensen mentioned, having an equal playing field is important, in my opinion, and being on a diverse council this term and seeing the benefits of that, I think it's important to have all the voices that we can at the table. I realize that many people have dependents of different sizes. Some are small and some are older, and having anybody who is in care for either one of those, I think it's important to have that opportunity, as well as from my own perspective, anybody that would be running for council with young children, although there are daycares, childcare is a constant struggle that never goes away. And that's something that I understood that going into it. But as Councillor Swanson mentioned, it's an added burden. And although we do get remunerated for being here, it's an expense that happens at every meeting. So I would be voting in favor of that, and also understanding that although the budget is set at for all council $17,500 per year, depending on usage, there are other budgets that we have that we don't utilize. It's just like our clothing fund as well, which I don't think anybody has utilized that fully either. So that's what I'll be going in favor.
Right, Councillor Kirby.
Thank you. I will be voting in favor of this too. I would just echo what I've heard from Councillor Sorensen and Councillor Beyer. We know that this is an extreme barrier in all levels of politics, from both municipal all the way up to federal, and to getting diverse councils and opening the playing field, which we know is not happening. There's 28% of women in politics, and this has always come up as one of the biggest barriers. Additionally, as Councillor Sorensen said, we all lose pay and the opportunity to earn money here. Only people who are paying for childcare, or if you are helping with an elderly family member or whoever it may be, are paying to be here. And there's a substantial difference from losing the ability to earn money, which I do that every time I'm here for a meeting during the day. That's not the same as paying to be at this table. That is substantially different. And so I think it's really important. Additionally, our raise was given because we were substantially lower paid. And for some of us, we do lose a substantial lot of income and vacation time every time we're at this table. So I do think this is a really important thing. And I think going into the next election, it really does open the opportunity for people to consider running.
All right, thank you. With that, if there's any other further comment, questions, or concerns, I will call the question. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carried 4-3. No information items, no sundry items, council committee reports. We are going back. So sorry, we have G1, G4. take it away. What's the motion on that one? Because I don't have that in front of
It's the one, it's this
Okay,
one.
it should.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
I'm used to having it on my screen here,
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna excuse myself.
All right, Councillor Schnarr's gonna excuse himself. Can I get a motion, please, that council approve in principle the West Yellowhead Regional Waste Management Authority Governance and Administration Plan? Councillor Wilkinson will make that motion, and we do have Mr. Ham, our General Manager of Infrastructure and Planning with us. Take it away.
I think you covered it for me, Mayor, but through the chair, as discussed in the August 10th, 2021 Committee of the Whole meeting, administration is recommending that council approve in principle the West Yellowhead Regional Waste Management Authority Governance and Administrative Plan as described in the Moorview Management Consulting Report.
Great, thank you. We did talk about this at length last week. Any further questions, comments, or concerns? Once again, I just want to commend the authority and the staff for the work on this. I think this is a huge step in a positive direction for the long-term benefits of all our municipalities. It's great to see the regional cooperation. With that, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Motion carried.
Chance to sit down.
Councilor Bernard? Not sure where he is, but we're going to continue with the meeting. Council committee reports, going back to July 20th, I believe. We will start with Councilor Wilkinson.
Okay, I just have two things. August the 3rd, we went out for breakfast with our CAO, which was very nice to get to know each other a bit better. And August 10th, we had committee of the whole meeting. That's it.
All right, thank you. Councilor Byer.
Thank you. I'll be going back to June 16th since I missed the last council meeting. So June 16th, I had an Edson Library Board meeting. On the 21st of June, I had a Yellowhead Regional Library Board meeting. June 22nd, the Committee of the Whole meeting. July 5th, Youth Council meeting, followed on by July 12th, Youth Council lunch barbecue. And July 13th, the Committee of the Whole meeting, and on August 3rd, the breakfast with CAO beverage.
All right, thank you. Councilor Chenard.
Good thing I snuck back in. The only thing I have to report is on July 10th, the committee of the whole meeting.
All right, thank you. Councilor Sorensen.
I have just the two, August 3rd breakfast with CAO beverage and August 10th community meeting.
Councilor Bevan.
August 3rd, we had Brecky, and that's it.
Councilor Curry.
Same thing, August 3rd, breakfast with the CEO, really enjoyed that. And then August 10th, the committee of the whole.
All right, and I'll just comment on the breakfast with CAO because we're mentioning it. We've hired CO Beverage. You've been here for 3 months.
It's September 1st.
Okay, so about 2 months, and council did not actually formally get the chance to welcome our CAO like we normally would. So it was a good opportunity to meet with everybody. For anybody that's watching, wondering why we're talking about why we went to breakfast with the CAO. It's not a normal thing that we do, but going back here on the 22nd of July, I had a COVID call with Minister McIver, Hinshaw, and Alberta Health Services about vaccinations and the low vaccination rates in Northern Alberta, which continues to be a concern. And they talked about the COVID bus that is available to communities and the real desperate need to get people vaccinated, especially in Northern Alberta, where we're seeing very low vaccination rates. On July 29th, I joined the Shelter Pod Committee in welcoming Minister Luan to our community and talking about homelessness. He was very engaged, and I know that he is very in tune with our issues here in Edson and was very impressed with the collaborative effort of not only the nonprofits, but the municipalities. And he will be keeping up to date on the status of the shelter pods. I believe he met with Reflections, FCSS, as well as some other nonprofits in our community that provide social services. On August the 10th, the committee of the whole meeting, the 3rd, the breakfast was CAO beverage. And that is my report. Go ahead.
Sorry, as soon as you
Wilkinson.
mentioned the pods, I'd like to just bring something up if I may. I've just heard from different people that the shelter pods are attracting people to come to Edson. And I did talk to Anne Oriette today, just by chance, at the community garden. And as she said, the people that are using any of the facilities there are people who have lived here in Edson and continue to live here in Edson. I don't think people realize how many homeless people we actually have in our own area. And the pods are not attracting people to come as an attractive alternative.
Yes, I would agree with. that
Okay, thank you.
statement.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I
Yeah.
just think it's a very
I-
bad perception.
I think that is quite frankly a ridiculous statement that homeless people that have no means of doing anything would find a way to come here to be in that situation with less supports from wherever they're coming from. So it's without question, the stats show that these are local people that are from Edson and Yellowhead County.
Thank you
So,
for letting me share that.
yeah, thank you. And that's it. No financial items, questions for media and public regarding items from this council meeting. Do we have anybody online? Nobody online? All right. Yes. No guests. That makes it easy. I will take a motion to go into a closed meeting session. Councilor Curry will make that motion. All those in favor? Motion carried. All right, thank you, everyone. Can I get a motion, please, to adjourn the meeting? Councilor Sorensen will make the motion. All those in favor? Motion carried.